What's up guys, Sonic.exe here, and today we are reading through a creepypasta. So, get comfy, cause this one is a doozy. Cue the music! Before we get started, I would like to say a few things. Number one, if you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you can be notified when the next Platonic Spider video is up. Videos tend to take a little while, but when they're up on the channel, they are worth a watch. Second of all, this is the first time we're doing a creepypasta rating, so if you would like to see more videos like this, let us know in the comments section below. Okay, so on to the creepypasta. Today we're reading a creepypasta called Sonic.exe 2. And I've checked, this is definitely not Sally.exe, because I personally, I was expecting to see my waifu in action again, but then again, that would be a bad idea. So yeah, this is a completely different sequel, not in the same universe, but it's always good to see what the fans come up with. Oh boy. This ought to be a doozy. Kill me. Anyways, let's begin. Oh, by the way, this is brought to you by the Walker of Shadows. Yup, the Walker of Shadows is the guy who wrote this creepypasta. So let's see what's up. And this creepypasta is actually suggested by my good old pal Dillin Thomas. Go subscribe to his channel to see more creepypasta readings. Okay, anywho, let's begin. My name is Simon. Everything has changed over this one cursed disc. I keep it to hopefully save my friends from his grasp. It all started on a very sunny day. It was the weekend, and I was taking my daily walk. As a 13-year-old boy, I was very adventurous. That's cute. While walking, something caught my eye. It was a vacant house. I then decided to enter the house, hoping to find something useful to me. As I entered the house, I noticed it was very dusty, and that everything was broken. Ooh, very scary. When I entered the master bedroom, I saw a computer that looked maybe 3 or 4 years old. I wasn't planning on taking this computer. I already had a new 2013 Windows 8 laptop. As I exited the room, I heard the computer turn on. I turned around to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the startup screen. I ran to the computer and I sat in the chair. To my surprise, I only saw Sonic. When I pushed the enter button to start the game, I saw something unforgettable. Ooh. What did you see, Simon? In one quick glimpse, I saw Sonic with his hands reaching out at me, with his black, crying blood and red dots looking at my soul. The ocean was now blood, and the angelic wings were now stained with blood that looked real. And at the bottom right of the screen, it said 1111111AAAA. The screen then faded out, and then a message appeared saying, "Ready for round 2?" I immediately turned off the computer and took out the CD to see what game it was. I didn't want to believe what I saw next. The CD was named Sonic.exe 2. The 2 looked like it was scratched on the CD. I took a moment to breathe, and then I thought about what happened to my friend Tom. Oh, good old Tom. I still remember when I last played with him. All I remember of my friend Tom was that he moved, and I never heard from him until that fateful night. Oh, really? Yeah, he moved into my neighborhood, bud. I was watching the news. It was around 10 o'clock p.m. at night. Tom was reported dead, and all that was found was Sonic.exe CD, and the Sonic plushie with the black eyes and red pupils, with crying blood. Oh, that's adorable. I still remember that little April Fool's gag. Scared the crap out of Tails, by the way. I have no idea why. What a little wimp. The realization didn't feel real. I was standing in the same place that Tom was standing. I thought to myself that this gonna be the work of the majestic, smart, and handsome Sonic.exe all over again. After settling down, I called my friend Tristan over to accompany me and to keep me from freaking out. When Tristan arrived, he asked me why did I call him over, and more importantly, why in a vacant house. Why? Because you gotta see me, of course, your good old pal Sonic.exe. Once I started the game, Tristan quickly understood why. As soon as I turned on the game, when we got to the character select, it looked very similar to Sonic Adventure. There were 4 characters to select from: Silver, Chaos, Shadow, and Amy. Chaos? Weird. The characters didn't look 3D. They were still sprites. Well, no crap, this ain't your frickin' Dreamcast. I was confused that Silver, Chaos, Shadow, and Amy were in the 1992 game. You do have a point. I then picked Silver because all the other characters were locked. I then heard evil laughter. There you go, evil laughter. The screen was black for 5 seconds, and then the stage name was called. Long time, you can't see Act 6. As the stage faded in, I noticed it was called Casino Night Zone. Oh, I love Casino Night Zone. As I made Silver levitate through the stage, I noticed I could only move 2 basic directions, left and right. As I kept on levitating right, I heard a sound in the background. It sounded like the casino was powering down. After 30 seconds of levitating the lights, they started to dim in and out. As I watched Silver, he looked more and more scared. Then suddenly, the lights in the background spelled Tails and burned down. After 5 seconds in complete darkness, I saw red glowing eyes that were crying blood. I tried to move Silver, but I couldn't. So, it had to be a cutscene. Then, the lights turned back on. Right there, I saw Tails standing in that position. He was standing there, crying blood. He had black and white fur, and he had no expression on his face. And then, I noticed a shadowy figure of Sonic standing right behind Tails after the lights powered off, and I heard a scream. 3 seconds after the scream, a message appeared. It said, "It's no use to escape." Chump. As Brista and I looked in horror at what we just saw, I thought to myself that Sonic was controlling and telling Tails to kill Silver. But why? When I was brought back to the character select, I and Tyson saw Silver's eyes plucked out, his fur now the color of ash, and a bloody aura. Tristan and I tried to ignore the gruesome image. The next character to choose was Chaos. Oh, good old watery Chaos. When I clicked Chaos, I heard the same evil laugh as before. The stage was named Crying to Death, Act 66. Execute! Order 66. What? Had to do it, man. When the stage faded, in there was another cutscene. It showed Chaos crying over his dead master and... Wait, what? Chaos is not supposed to cry? Why the heck does Chaos cry in the Sonic game? Dude, Walker of Shadows. Crying Chaos. No. I refuse. No! No! Hell no! No! Okay, back to the story. After 10 seconds, I finally had control over Chaos. I moved him away from his dead master. As I walked the stage, looked very similar to the dead thing. I continued walking, and I kept on hearing explosions getting louder and louder. Also saw destroyed robots. The music in the background sounded like the Resident Evil theme, but more distorted. Sega vs. Capcom? Anyone? Then Chaos stopped walking. Finally, a blast came through the roof and knocked Chaos down. When the smoke cleared, I saw Nipples the Enchilada standing over Chaos with his black eyes, red pupils, crying blood. By the way, it wasn't Nipples, it was Knuckles, but you got the joke. And with blood dripping from his dreadlocks, again, I noticed a shadowy figure of Sonic standing behind Knuckles. Chaos looked very frightened. You little pussy. Then, one quick second, I saw Knuckles throw a blow at Chaos, and the screen turned black, and I kept on hearing multiple punches. Boom, boom, boom. After 5 seconds, I saw a message saying, "Don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of the torture." After seeing that, I couldn't handle it anymore. I ran to the bathroom to wipe my tears away. While in the bathroom, I heard a scream. I ran towards the bedroom. Tristan was gone. I looked at the computer to find Tristan, pixelated in the game. Ooh. I then saw a text box appear above Tristan. It said, "It's too late for me, Simon. Finish the game." It then went static. I then sat down in the chair and continued playing the game. I had to finish this game for my friend Tristan. I then looked at Chaos. He was not water anymore. He was blood. Ooh, juicy, delicious blood. After seeing that, I then selected Shadow, hoping he would have a chance against this monster. As I selected Shadow, there was no laugh this time. Huh, well, what do you know? The stage name was called Death Act 666. 666. Okay, the stage looked like marble stone. As I made Shadow move, I noticed that he was passing sanctuaries and cemeteries. The lava in the background wasn't lava anymore. It was blood. The sound disturbed me the most. It sounded like the original Lavender Town theme, but reversed. In the background was the moaning of the souls of the dead. The red clouds looked like an evil face. After 2 minutes of walking, Sonic appeared in front of Shadow. Sonic was smiling, looking down. He had sharp fingers, black eyes, and red pupils. With blood coming down his face, Sonic looked lifeless, but happy in a way. Yup, this guy gets it. Before I could see Sonic attack Shadow, I saw Amy push Shadow out of the way. I was shocked because I didn't even choose Amy. As I watched, I saw Amy crying to Sonic. Then out of nowhere, Tails, Knuckles, Silver, and Chaos surrounded Amy and Shadow. I then saw Shadow use Chaos Control. It looked like he took their souls out. Tails, Knuckles, Silver, and Chaos were now all unconscious. As I saw Amy keep on crying Sonic, he was turning from good to evil again and again. Well, that never happened before. At least, nobody tried. Hey, I'm sorry. I was choking there for a minute. Nobody will try. Nobody will ever try, okay? Sorry. Finally, the blood in the background started to shoot up straight into the sky. I then saw Shadow use Chaos Control again. He teleported himself, Tails, Knuckles, Silver, and Chaos to safety. Amy stayed with Sonic. Finally, The screen went static. I was speechless. I wondered what happened to Amy and Sonic. Then the screen went black and a message appeared. It said, "Where is your god now?" It then showed Sonic with black fur. He looked like Dark Sonic, but with black eyes and red pupils still crying blood. Too many Sonics, man. Sonic was standing there, weeping like his conscience came back to him for a while. And then he realized what he had done. I was wrong, because Sonic then looked up at the screen and had showed an evil smirk on his face. Amy had saved me for now. I do not know the outcome of Amy and the others, but one thing was for sure, is that I will save them. Instead of destroying the disc, I kept it, saving for the unknown. All I know is that I am facing an evil entity. End of part 1. Oof, I am still triggered over Chaos crying. What a bloody wimp. Okay, so, if you guys want me to continue reading this creepypasta, leave a comment in the section below. Yeah, this is a really strange read-through, guys. Okay, just to let you know, this story is taking place in the fans' own universe. Like, not mine. Holy crap. People make me... I don't know, dude. This is probably the kind of shit that describes me as one of the most overrated scary beings. Wow. That's rather unfortunate. You know what? I will actually change my name. I will prove that I am scary. I will prove that I am a lethal weapon.
Hey, can you keep it down there? I'm trying to sleep, buddy.
Shut up, TD. Nobody cares about your sleeping hours, especially when I'm reading a creepypasta as this. No wonder we're on the overrated creepypasta list. This shit is strange.
Oh no, you actually read a creepypasta? Oh no, here we go.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way to prove to you all that I am a scary creepypasta. That I am a scary monster. Whether you like it